Hey guys, and welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
And I'm Commander Coggins, and today we're looking at Discovery again, episode 4. We're asking a question. Why was the Sarcophagus ship, Tukuvuma's flagship, that can cloak, abandoned by the rest of the Empire and left for 6 months?
In a ship graveyard, an old battlefield with people on board. It's odd. It's odd that it was there for 6 months. It did get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
It did get the neck was exploded and actually separated. They've fixed it. You can see that they fixed it with with their silver duct tape space equivalent, and it looks pretty cool. But it just seems rather odd to me because we know that this is within Federation space. Yes.
Yes, the edge of Federation space. Yeah.
Yes, but still Federation space territory. Mm-hmm. And you would assume that Starfleet came in and, retrieved telescopes from ships and things like that. So
and escape pods, because there are escape pods from all the different ships.
Yeah.
And even if some of the ships of the Earth fleets... No, they didn't survive. That's the point. Remember, it was a graveyard, and then Tukuvuma's ship... Well, I guess the other kind of ships warped out after a few more warped in and destroyed the rest of them. So I think all the Federation ships died. I think that was a specific plot point.
Yeah, I believe so. But there would have been rescue ships coming in to retrieve life, last will and testaments of captains and telescopes.
Just the hundreds of officers that survived, yeah.
Yeah. So why did they not address the fact that Tukuvuma's ship was still there, inhabited by Klingons? Why did the Klingons not come and help the survivors of Tukuvuma's people or cult on this ship? Because we know that it's been there for 6 months and it's just now becoming operational enough to leave, but they're still without a dilithium processing unit.
Yes, which was there the entire time on the Shinjo, and it took them 6 months to convince the albino Klingon to just take it.
Or it took them 6 months to realize there's no birds of prey left in the debris.
Yeah, you can imagine how many times you scan the debris again and again and again and again. It's still no birds of prey. There's still no birds of prey.
Maybe they just got their scanners online though after 6 months. They've been fixing them.
I mean, to be fair, they're probably stupid Klingons given all their actions and how radical they are. They're probably not the best engineers of the fleet. The fact that in an antiquated ship they probably don't necessarily know how a lot of it works. They're probably not utilising it to its full potential. So repairing something that's what was that, 1,000 years old, 2,000 years old. I mean, at some point, yes, it's less advanced. But if you gave a modern teenager or 20-year-old a brick phone with a suitcase, they couldn't take it apart. Even if you gave an engineer a brick phone, I mean, yes, they could sort of understand most of it, but they'd be like, "Wow, this is really antiquated technology." Or even go back even further. Give a software engineer the Apollo 13 code. They'd be like, "Oh, this is weird. I've got to go through all this and finally." So it's a little bit different, especially I think 1,000 years. Give a man rubbing two sticks together, and he still can't make a fire. Most people, same jump technology.
Yeah, well, good point.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, it just seems like an odd plot point that 6 months later they're still here on board the ship. They weren't evacuated by anybody. Nobody sent help. I could see Klingons being reluctant to cross into Federation space a little bit, but they are at war.
Yeah.
And they are attacking Federation outposts and whatnot, so it doesn't seem like much of a stretch to actually get them across the border to help out these guys. Do they have respect for Tukuvuma and his men?
Yeah.
I thought so. They came in to help.
Yeah, well, they came in because they still felt obligated by the legacy of Kalis, but they all seemed to take the lead of Tukuvuma and said, yes, we are going to embrace him. But you can ask a couple of questions about this. Tukuvuma died right at the end, stabbed, and then the ship got blown up a bit, and there was the main explosion and then sort of secondary explosions. If the ship was basically fine bar major systems, could it still communicate with... Because we know real-time communication, holographic is fine, at least with Federation we can assume it's probably Klingon as well, so calling home isn't going to take 3 weeks like it does in TOS, so it's going to take instant.
Yeah.
Do they have the communication technology to tell the rest of the Empire Tukuvuma is now dead? If the Messiah is now dead, that is going to embolden the Klingon Empire to be even more, we hate you, stabby, stabby.
Gonna make him a martyr, yeah.
Yeah, although I don't think half hour of knowing him is really gonna make him a martyr in everyone's eyes. Like, they're not gonna love him that much after a half hour and no one knows him except, you know, the great story of Takuvamar, the man that got stabbed in his bridge after letting another fleet of ships,
Takuvama the unforgettable. Takuvama the unforgettable. That's the thing that they chanted.
Who got killed by who got shot in the back by someone he didn't see was there. Class warrior. And anyway, so if they didn't know he was dead, then maybe you can say that the Klingon Empire was letting him do his thing. But you would think you'd try and check in with your new messiah, new leader, the new spearhead of a campaign. If you do know he's dead, you would go check on him and let the ship be the spearhead of the campaign and save everybody. So either way, they'd be rescued, or at least helped. And since the ship was fixed, it's capable to be fixed. And we're also skipping over the most important thing. This ship is the only other ship we know that have a cloaking device.
Yeah.
We know that a ramming ship had a cloaking device, but that ship was destroyed too, so this might be the only other ship with a cloaking device. We don't know.
Well, he did say some of his other ships have the visibility, so we don't know how many are out there.
Yeah. But you would think cloaked ships would also come to see what mothership was doing. But if it had a cloaking device, would not everybody in the Empire wonder, where's he been for 6 months not attacking the Federation? Why have we not heard of cloaked forces, a cloaked ship attacking people? Since you can't firewall cloaked, again, it wouldn't even... a cloaking device doesn't help unless you leave no survivors, and if you leave no survivors, no one knows it's a cloaked ship, so the news wouldn't spread. It just seems odd, I mean, you'd go searching after a day, maybe 2 days, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we know for a fact that people haven't been helping warping and bringing them supplies, either equipment or food, because they talk about how starving they are. I would assume I would assume they're scavenging other vessels to effect repairs, though, because you don't have everything you need necessarily on your ship to do that. So, you think the warp core and the dilithium processing thing might be one of the most important things? You might want to do that first instead of 6 months later.
Yeah, you would think the first priority is, life support, and then warp drive, because you need to warp out of Federation space, because guess what? There's a war on, but they're within their rights to warp in and blow you up. A ship that is thousands of years...
Or capture you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you kill the martyr, but if you then capture the martyr's ship, doesn't make you look good in the eyes of the rest of the Klingon fleet. How's Takuvamar? Oh, he died and got taken hostage. Oh. Wow, Torchbearer. Yeah, Federation's better than we thought. They are worthy warriors. Let's call peace now, because they took the dude who wouldn't even never defend themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, we said this a lot in our episode review. Very poorly written plot point.
Yes.
Any way I look at it, I don't see... I guess the only justification I can see as to why this would be stuck, why they wouldn't go finding them, is because the Klingons thought the ship got destroyed. Maybe one last ship waited until the last minute, saw the neck blow up, assumed they all died, left, and then it took... But then why would it take Core 6 months to go in, who then knew they were alive, because he beamed in straight away and said, "Hey guys, I'm here to apologise." So clearly knew they were alive, so you can't even make that fit. I mean, you just would think a realistic plot line would be to save your Messiah, or save his ship, or use the cloaking device, or, and this is also the biggest ship in the Klingon fleet. I mean, this ship is the biggest ship in any fleet. I would, almost, obviously it's not Copernicus. What's the big bull ship from the First Federation?
Oh, the Phasterius.
I mean, that's infinitely bigger, obviously. So it's not the biggest ship ever, and Borg's cubes still dwarf it, I'm sure. But it's the biggest ship in the Klingon Armada, I guarantee, and it's the biggest ship in the Federation Armada, I guarantee. So even just as a status symbol, to have this in the battle, you re-outfit it with modern weapons, with disruptor cannons on every single surface. Yeah. This could be quite a hefty thing. Or as a ground, you have beaming technology. We see them, confirmed they're beaming. So you just have 10,000 troops beam them onto the planet's surface. It's big enough. Use it. It would seem weird to give up your sacred original ship, probably the oldest ship in known service,
Yeah. it was an odd choice. Like I said in our review, if it had been a week later,
yeah,
that's cool. That makes perfect sense.
Core was busy fighting people and said, "Oh, we should go back and check on him." Yeah, I could just bloodlust only lasts a week. Yeah,
but they did mention specifically it's been 6 months. Not only do we know that it's 6 months because of the main storyline, but he himself, the albino, says it's been 6 months. So it's a very, as you mentioned, a badly written plot point and just doesn't make sense.
And even if even if they didn't get to the point in the plot where the rest of the Klingons sided with them and basically pledged loyalty, even if they were still outcasts, everyone hated them, you would, core of a number of Klingons would still go back and take the cloaking device, the most important asset.
Yeah.
Obviously when the Klingons realize the spore drive is a thing, lets them do instant travel, getting a cloaking device, outfitting your ships, that's the other advantage. One side has cloak, one side has infinite travel. That's two pretty hefty game changers, and by the end of the war, you lose both of them. That's great. But that no one seems to care for that many forever.
Well, it raises the question too: how many people know that he had cloak? I mean,
it's true.
The leaders of some of the houses did because he mentioned it. But there were basically, I was going to say there were basically no survivors from the battle, but there was quite a few escape pods that launched, even from the Europa, which got ran by a cloak ship. So at least the Federation knows it's there. So I kind of give the Federation crap as well for this because, like you said, go in and you got to rescue escape pods, salvage important stuff from the ships. Why not? Yeah, tow the ship back further into Federation space, interrogate the remaining Klingons, find out what's going on. I mean, you're at war now. You can hold them as hostages, basically.
And you've got the torchbearer there. He's pretty important.
Yep, use them to exchange information or or not casualties, prisoners of war, things like that.
Although Klingons don't take prisoners until they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Until they do.
And get the cloaking device technology.
Oh God, yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
I mean, the Federation could at least analyze it, maybe incorporate it into some of their ships. This is probably before the Treaty of Algernon, so we don't need to worry about not having cloaks yet.
I mean, let's break it down one more step. So the people on the bridge to see the cloaking device were Burnham, Saru, Michelle Yeoh's character, and the rest of the bridge crew. Well, yes, a lot of them didn't survive, but guess what Saru did? And his threat ganglia, while yes, this ship is still very, dangerous, you could still probably successfully... I mean, the fact that these two people beamed aboard it very happily, yes, one of them died, but he still killed the leader of this entire house, this entire campaign of war. The rescue ships come in, Saru says, they've got a cloaking device, and the admiral that comes in says, seriously? Oh, wow, we're staying for at least 5 months, because they won't have reinforcements for 6 months. They're 6 months away at maximum warp. Let's salvage it, and then whoever says, wow, okay, well, we've now got cloak and spore drive, let's put the cloak of the Discovery. It's just ridiculous. We can now jump above Kronos and stay cloaked. We've won this war, guys. But no one thought for 6 months a cloak was valuable.
Yeah.
To be fair though, we don't know if the cloak's been destroyed. It might have been obliterated. Because Core never actually asked them, is your cloak still fine? He just said, I want your cloak.
Maybe the cloak was malfunctioning and the ship was actually cloaked. So the Klingons warped in to help them, and there was no Sarcophagus ship there. They're like, oh, he got away. All right, good. Let's warp out. And then all of a sudden, because I'm just grasping at straws here.
But then he wouldn't come back, would he?
Wow. When you rule out... Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. So you realize that there's nowhere else. They must be there, so he goes back. And by that time, they had fixed the cloaking device, so it wasn't constantly cloaking them. And I don't know. I'm just grasping at straws.
Yeah, it's tricky. Again, this episode, we liked episode 1, we liked episode 3. 2 was okay, but 4 had huge plot points. And in this episode of this analysis, we've tried to work out if there's any rationale. We've talked through the possibilities, all the different avenues, and some fans of ours say we're trying to grasp at straws. But the fact is, this is meant to be a cohesive story that had months of writing, months of rewriting, very clear direction with the people above that, this is a new thing, this is a new visual reboot of Star Trek, we've got new ideas, it's new storytelling. These big things, like, they basically said, right, we can't let the Klingons do anything for 6 months, basically, so let's just have them stay there for 6 months. And someone said, but they're like, they won't notice because the war's actually happening somewhere else. It's like, oh yeah, we will. Because, I mean, I'll repeat this, the solution I had to this problem is a very simple solution. Very, very simple solution. So they spend maybe a week repairing the neck. That's fair. Mm-hmm. It's pretty hefty, so a week, and no one's going to come after them for a week necessarily. You can push that. And then they say, right, we're going to take the Shinjo as a trophy because that Giorgio killed us. Okay, so they dock it, they tractor it to the thing, and they steal the warp core. If it's damaged, that's fine. They warp away, and they get just into Klingon territory. And the warp drive malfunctions, comes out of warp, it fries, now it's gone. And now they have no ability to fix it. And now they're just drifting in between both territories, and the Klingons would not know where they were except in a straight line. But since it's been a few months, the Klingons weren't very good at finding them, so it took 6 months for then Core to discover it, far from the beaten path. Like, you're lost at sea, the momentum of the water pulls you in a different direction. It takes 6 months to find them. They give them a warp core, whatever, and boom, everyone's fine. They've been out of the battle for 6 months, and they're actually starving because they have no thing to scavenge, and I can see a mutiny happening because everyone would blame the captain. You said the ship was fine, we have the Shinjo, and even with that, you've put us in deep space, we know one nothing, we're going to die. You can, that would be an easy solution, and it'd be, an extra, three lines of dialogue?
Yeah, it's way better written than what they did.
And less CG, because you wouldn't need the asteroid field or the debris field.
True. And even should the warp core have been damaged during the battle, I'm sure you have impulse. And if you don't have impulse, that'd probably be one of the first things you'd fix. At least start impulsing towards your border, your territory.
6 months is quite hefty. You can travel not very far,
exactly.
But you can travel a little bit far.
And if your impulse engines can't be fixed right away, get some people out there with thruster suits and push the ship, just so it's got some kind of momentum towards Klingon shit. It could be very slow, but just start going.
Do you really want to stay next to this gravity well of 2 binary stars?
Exactly.
Probably not the safest thing. That said, I could see, again, secondary, I just thought of a new plan. What if, and this actually would have been fine, we know that for some reason the obelisk was in the heart of Klingon Federation space. It was there, it was here for some reason. It was, it was a lure, but it was there. It has a jamming field, very effective jamming field. What if the Sarcophagus ship went closer into the asteroid? It's quite risky, but 6 months into the asteroid field. They repurposed the technologist jam stuff, so when the Federation did come and save their people, they, and then maybe the Klingons were monitoring the transmissions, and they said the Sarcophagus ship is gone because it's being, it's being disabled, it's being in the jamming field, and then but Core's like they send a subspace signal when their communications are back on, a distress signal. It gets to Core eventually. He then comes and rescues them. Bit more convoluted, and you're pushing the technology of the jamming field really, really far. But distress signal is what brought him, because he thought they were dead. And then it's like, well, we didn't come for you for 6 months. We've been fighting the war in your stead. But yeah, you're alive. But also, you're not Takuvma. Stab. Hey, I'm the leader now. I can see that being another alternate way around this.
They need us on the show, man.
Pick up the phone, guys. We'd love to help.
Anyway, there's some obvious problems, as you've heard us talk about. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think there's something that you guys can fix as far as storytelling or a plot? Just put it below in the comments. We look forward to reading it, as always, because, yeah, this is something that really we couldn't overlook. I mean, it's pretty glaring. Maybe not on the first viewing if you're really enjoying it, but in closer analysis, it just falls apart. And it's something that I wouldn't expect from Star Trek at all. So, anyway, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. We want to be positive. We want to really love it, but there's certain things that just don't stand up to logic.
I'm having fun discussing it, though. And we were trying to look for the solutions, and I found 2 potential ones. So, maybe in the remaster in a couple of years.
Yes. This is all a dream sequence. They fix it in episode 8 because this is all just a dream that Takuma's having because he recovered from the shot in the back.
Or like we said before, this is all hard simulation by Riker, and he's an even larger and older Riker from Pegasus yet again. It's the first holodeck thing he tried out of the two. Then he went back to Enterprise because he realized this wasn't. But he changed the parameters. He said, right, let's make the Klingons look like Jacobians from the 2150s. We'll explain that, and let's tell the story. And I'll be, I'll play the part of Saru, and or I'll play the part of the, whoever.
And let's modernize all the TOS designs so they look like futuristic and. Yeah.
Yeah. He wanted to. You don't just want the vanilla. He wanted the mod expansion pack. He wanted the, conceptual design pack of 2363.
Perfect. Anyway, guys, we're talking too much. Looking forward to what you guys think in the comments below, and please like the video.
Let us know if you have a solution. Seriously.
Well, yeah.
If we haven't thought of the one, and let us know, because we are genuinely trying to find the answer to such a huge plot point.
Yeah, let us know why they were there for 6 months without any help from anybody or or Starfleet stepping in and.
Despite
anyway.
picking up the.
Yes.
Despite picking up the what's it called? It's a
telescope.
Telescope. Yep.
Anyway, guys. So yeah, same old routine, guys. Subscribe, like, share around, and help us out if you can.
Ooh, and how can they do that, Stuart?
I don't know, but you're going to tell them.
Ah, damn it. You didn't hit the bait there. Yes, two great ways. You donate at Trekyards.com. A little bit of $1 each and every month. That's one time. A little bit of a thank you is awesome. All that every month. Donation at Patreon. Trekyards. Patreon/Trekyards. Give a little bit at one donation levels. Yes, one description. It just helps this channel survive and grow. And the more support we get, the more we can do. And we've had a lot of fun covering Discovery because there's a lot to cover. And your support makes it not only more doable but also more rewarding for us. It means we get the support from you guys and we get to plan other things and try and grow the channel and get other guests and such. It's all, we need growth, and we need more money to allow us to have growth. So if you can support, please do, and thank you in advance if you do.
That's right. So until the next broken plot point that we need to discuss, I'm Captain Foley.
And I am Commander Jones.
Bye everybody.
Bye guys.